What's good, everybody? It's your boy EMW Figure Shelf, and today I'm gonna give a breakdown on how I put together the EMW Wrestling Figure Arena. So if you haven't done so already, give a like, give a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let's get right in. So, without any further ado, let's give a rundown and a little backstory on the actual stage wall. So the stage wall, this right here, is actually corkwood that's about an inch thick, and my father and I had found and put together and kind of cut so the entrance stage, at the time the Raw entrance stage would fit around, well, this would fit around the Raw entrance stage at the time that had John Cena's picture, and it only played like 5 theme songs. And so this had a different design. The lights were actually going vertical to replicate the WWE stage at that point. And then I had just a diamond plate backdrop, which was adhesive, and it would just peel, and it, over time just didn't look great. So, with a lot of changes and things, I even went at one point a silver vinyl, and I just needed to make drastic changes. So it was last year where I actually decided to take everything off, and the lights, instead of going vertically, were now going to become horizontal. And then I put on this black vinyl, and then this piece here, is actually two 2x4s with just a piece of wood screwed into the two 2x4s. And also, I want to say with this corkwood, there's like 2 little legs here from a 2x4 that we also cut, so we could put the legs on, and screwed and glued the legs into it. As you can see, there's the other leg over there, and then they come out this way and they go all the way back that way. Going forward though, so this year, what needed to be done was the actual lights were breaking on the wall. So I ordered lights that the actual strip was white. So I just took electrical tape and covered it. So now, as you can see, the lights actually look more symmetric into the actual backdrop. You don't see any of the seams or anything as far as them looking like LED strips. It looks symmetrical. Even at the bottom here, you can see I still have that old look of the actual LED strips, as seen there on this gray, this gold, like foil adhesive. And then that's there, as well as on the actual Mattel stage. That's vinyl that's contoured and cut and glued. This is a Flex Force ramp, which the lights are actually from Light My Bricks. My good buddy, Mr. Bonesaw, hooked me up with those from Light My Bricks. You could use Light My Bricks mostly for Legos. I decided to get them on the entrance stage. The ones that you see are like white and blue, do not change colors. These do. So yeah, and as you can see back there, all the different connectors and wires. Usually I have that covered up, but I have it exposed so you guys can see just how much wiring and electronics go into this. And by all means, folks, if you're under the age of 18, you need supervision. And those who are 18 and older, preferably 21 and over, you need to have power tools and knowledge of using power tools. Moving upward, as you can see, there's the Chandelier. I wanted something to replicate AEW Dynamite because I am a huge fan of AEW. And I really was kind of stumped for a while on how was I going to go about that. My father, who was very instrumental in getting that set up and did most of the work for the actual Chandelier, we were trying to figure out how it was. And a lot of the inspiration for just the overall changes between this and this roof here all come from me just seeing the progress of my good friend Naparo, aka Ring Skirts, of his diorama of the Manhattan Center based on Raw's first episode from January 11th, 1993. And I really needed to have a setup that I could feel does justice in being not just a great diorama set, but one of the very best. And the Paros work definitely motivated me into doing so, much like a lot of other great arenas out there. But yeah, when it comes to the actual chandelier, this is actually PVC. So the top is 4 inches, the middle's 3 inches, the bottom is 2 inches. So this is PVC, and my father had to use PVC primer and PVC glue. And then they had to be mounted together and held together for, I want to say, about, really overnight, but they were actually cut and contoured to where they could fit, within each other. So it was long pieces that he actually had to cut using, I believe, a skill saw or a hand saw. I'm sorry, a hand saw, I believe. If that's incorrect, I can always add the annotations down below to confirm so. But so the actual chandelier is PVC. He had to mold together and then glue together. Then eventually he was spray painted black, and he used a like an over the door closet hanger to hook onto the actual stage. As you can see, it's hooked onto the actual top part here. And now, when you have that put together, you're able to hoist it up. But wait a minute, how do we get the lights on? So the lights, I actually had a little of a difficulty, because at first I was thinking, why don't I just wrap regular lights around? But I just wouldn't, it was not going to look that great. In my personal opinion, I wanted to look as close to the AEW setup as possible. So actually, when you look here, you can actually see a lot of this sticking out. These are not actually on the PVC. They're not actually on the chandelier at all. So I made it to where you can look at this direction and it looks perfect and it looks beautiful, but the caveat is where it can't be seen, you see a lot of openings and creases and all that stuff, which is to be expected. So anyway, I have a 32-foot wire all the way on around the chandelier, and it's coming in and it's coming all the way down here and going into this power strip. Now this power strip, as you can kind of see, and maybe I could get some lighting in here, this power strip I actually have onto a piece of wood here that the rest of my arena fits on, because this is actually a 30-inch by 8-foot table, and the piece of wood, the particle board, is actually 38 inches coming out by 8 feet. And then this is molding that we screwed into the actual table. As you can see, there's the little nails. Moving on though, comes the roof. Now the way the roof was built was back here, right behind this setup, there's 2 pieces of wood screwed in via an L bracket, and they're screwed in together, the 2 pine wood boards. They come up about 36 inches. Actually, you can see a little bit creeping up right there. And that piece that you see creeping up is a bridge that we have attached. So this whole roof can just sit on top. Now, when we sat the roof frame on top, once it was being built, I do have to mention that it was uneven. And it was uneven because this top here is not the same scale as the Extreme Sets backdrops. So this little piece of wood is actually held together. You pick this, here's the roof. This is an extra piece of wood with nails that you can just go in and out, pop in and out, like no big deal. Just so that way it gives this more, it lifts this up more, so that way the roof is now officially even. Now the way the roof was set up is these are 3 56-inch pieces of wood with 2, I want to say 27 inches coming across. So I may be able to hang stuff up. We took vinyl and stapled it as seen here, you can see the staples. Stapled completely, and of course I have a beautiful NWO backdrop for life set up there. But you reel this back and you can see all the different wiring and stuff taped here. That is because I cut little slits. So you see these little lights, all I did was cut little slits so they could just come through, and then I taped the wires so they're snug. Around the wood frame here, you could see here's the actual light wires, the cables, and they all come, you know, and then there's 4 of them as seen here. So this is a remote caddy I have here hung up by picture wire into these little fisheye hooks, as you can see there, and you can see there. And it's propped up, and then this is an iPad that I just velcroed onto this here, and boom, that's really it. And then these are pieces from a WCW set that I hot glued together, made like a hexagon rafter piece, and added like this little Prudential Center banner. And this is something I could remove and fix up, so I could say Madison Square Garden, Continental Airlines Arena, Brendan Burns, so on and so forth. Maybe even get a little creative down the line and do like the Omni or Tokyo Dome or what have you. Now these here, these little things, I want to give a shout out to Man Cave Creations, a good guy named Jason. He does these little scoreboard rafters that have adhesive piece, like squares, that you could just stick onto the actual scoreboard. But of course here it's sticked onto the vinyl on this end, and these are custom made EMW World Champion banners that I made. And here's the original version that he came up with for the New Jersey Devils, which is perfect for the Prudential Center, a place that I know very well, near and dear to my heart even. And yeah, as you can see, this here, I just took some like black twist ties, just twisted them around, put them around this girder here. Same goes for here. This is like my custom made Madison Square Garden frame. As you can see, Bruno Sammartino sold out the Garden 187 times. That was a very important factoid I needed to have. WrestleMania, the very first one, and then a few shows I really enjoyed, like SummerSlam 98, Royal Rumble 2000, WrestleMania 20. 3 of my favorite shows growing up during that Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era period. And then 2 shows I was actually at, the G1 Supercard hosted by New Japan and Ring of Honor, and then AAA's Invasion to New York on Mexican Independence Day. I believe it was September 15th. Tremendous show. The 2 of those were tremendous shows. But yeah, just very cool little attention to detail I wanted to add into there. So my setup was definitely more geared toward the any semblance of a East Coast arena possible. But I absolutely just really think your mind is your own limit for creativity. And again, anyone that has any questions or help with their setups, please feel free to shoot me a message. Any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. But I really hope I helped out as much as I can. Hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace!